The Joker is probably the most well-known supervillain in the world of comics, so he doesn't need much of an introduction. We all know he is the nemesis of Batman and that he's as crazy as people come. And we also know that he has no superpowers, except for the many occasions when he has gotten superpowers in different stories and universes. And we are going to go over the 5 most powerful versions of the Joker. Nano Joker. Now in the series The Batman, Wayne Tech develops nanotech that is able to reassemble itself into any form, and even create new nanobites to add to its hive mind. Now meanwhile, the Joker is using a helmet to mentally download money from a bank account to his own account. And then Batman interrupts, and somehow the Joker's mind is copied onto the computer. So Joker's crew download his mind into the nanobots and create a Nano Joker. And this one has all of the Joker's memories and craziness, but also has the power of nanotech, which means he can shapeshift into almost any form, and basically into any type of technology.
I'm the greatest version of Joker there's ever been! Joker 2.0!
He is also super strong, he can fly, and he can repair and rebuild his body, so long as at least one nanobot remains intact, meaning he's essentially immortal. He can also build anything he wants separate from his main body, such as a Batmobile. And of course, he can create more nanobots to turn himself into a giant. So he's a semi-immortal shapeshifter who can create any technology he wants just by thinking about it, from firing lasers from his hair to armed warheads. And he also doesn't need to eat, sleep or breathe, all of which makes him very, very powerful. Of course, he's still a digital being, so Batman is able to defeat him by downloading his mind onto a different computer. But still, this Joker doesn't die, he's still alive, just on a computer. Unless, of course, Batman chooses to delete him.
How did I get back in here? And who are you? Nightwing.
Injustice Joker. Now, the Joker has gotten super strength on several occasions, such as when he steals Bane's Venom equipment and uses it to turn himself super strong. Or in the Arkham Asylum video game when he injects the Titan formula into himself and becomes a hulked out Joker. But although this Joker is physically more impressive, he is not as strong as the Joker who takes an Injustice super pill.
Superman made this pill for his thugs. Then Batboy's insurgents got some. Now we have them too. With these, a bus could fall on us and we won't be hurt. Slapstick at its finest.
As this Joker is thousands of times stronger than a normal human, and his body is thousands of times denser and tougher. Of course, all he has is strength and toughness, but still, this is probably the most powerful version of the Joker in terms of when he just enhances his strength. After all, he is able to go toe-to-toe with Injustice Superman in this state, and Batman punching him with plastic explosives on his fist may hurt Hulk Joker, but it wouldn't do much to Injustice Joker. Maybe just knock him down for a second.
I should be dead. Thanks, Happy Pill.
But this isn't the only time he gets superpowers in the Injustice universe. Egyptian God of Chaos Joker. In the Injustice prequel comic, the Amulet of Apophis is a powerful weapon that the Justice Society encounter at the end of the Second World War. They try to destroy it, but even the combined powers of the Spectre and Green Lantern can't damage it. So they bury it at the bottom of the Mariana Trench, hoping no one will ever find it. But one man does know where it is, and he's currently in prison and wants to get out. So he does a deal with the Joker and promises to give him the amulet in exchange for the Joker breaking him out. And so the Joker gets a hold of the amulet and gains the power of the Egyptian God of Chaos. Now the first power he gets is the ability to enter the mind of anyone around him and take complete control of their body. And that may not sound as impressive as some of the other abilities on this list, but it does allow him to take control of anyone's body and of course their superpowers. From Green Lantern to the Flash to Superman himself, Joker has the powers of anyone around him, and in the DC universe, that is a lot of power. The only downside is that he has to be near them to activate the takeover, but after he has control, there doesn't seem to be any distance problems, so he can control them from pretty much anywhere on the planet, even the comfort of his own living room. On top of which, the Lords of Chaos talk to him through the amulet, and they tell him about a helm that they can use to give him even more power. and essentially they make him the Sorcerer of Chaos with nearly unlimited magical powers, including flight and super strength that allows him to go hand to hand with Wonder Woman and knock her out in one blow. Now with this power, he could easily defeat the Justice League and conquer the world, but this is the Joker we're talking about. So instead of just doing that, he wants to play a little game. This game is that he takes control of Superman's body and then has Superman kill all of the Justice League members so Batman can watch his closest friend and ally get corrupted and fall to the dark side. Now of course, Superman is able to break free of his mind control and he manages to destroy the amulet at super speed, which cuts the Joker off from his power source. But for a while there, the Joker was quite literally the God of Chaos. Wrath of God Joker. In the DC universe, there is a character called the Spectre, a sort of magic ghost who needs a host but has nearly limitless power. He is the Wrath of God and basically gets revenge, or justice, for people on God's behalf. Now this usually involves a lot of messed up stuff, as his version of justice is a little bloody and warped, such as imprisoning Constantine in the House of Mystery for all of time, as penance for changing history. He basically deals out kind of ironic magic punishments that are actually incredibly cruel. Although Jim Corrigan, the Spectre's current host, tries to hold this power and anger back as much as he can. But the Joker at one point became his host, and he did not hold the Spectre's power back. Quite the opposite. Now in this story, the Joker is in New York to destroy a club made in his honour, as you do, and the Spectre gets a hold of him and decides to enter his mind to determine what punishment he should give him. But the Spectre was recently attacked and is in a bit of a weakened state, and so the Joker was able to lock his host's mind away and take control of the Spectre's powers. Now fortunately, Jim Corrigan is able to explore around the Joker's mind, and he discovers that the Joker doesn't have a conscience, which does kind of make sense. So Jim Corrigan decides to give him his, and he temporarily turns the Joker sane and allows him to feel the guilt for the crimes that he has committed, which is just far too much for the Joker, and he collapses into a catatonic state, and thus the host is able to reassert control of the Spectre. Now, the exact level of the Spectre's power is hard to define, as the Spectre is essentially a god and one of the most powerful beings in the DC universe, able to take down the entire Justice League if he chooses to, and he probably wouldn't even break a sweat. And he can also do pretty much anything you can think of: time travel, flight, matter manipulation, creating his own dimensions, or even creating sentient life if he wants to. So this is probably the second most powerful version of the Joker. The most powerful, of course, being Emperor Joker. Easily the most powerful version of the Joker was in the storyline where he got Mxyzptlk's powers. Now, Mxyzptlk is an imp from the 5th dimension, so this means that he is a semi-omnipotent god in our dimension. And so when the Joker gets his powers, he literally becomes the most powerful being in the DC universe, defeating Darkseid in about 2 seconds flat. And he then remakes the world in his image, and quite a lot of the universe for that matter, until Superman defeats him and takes the powers away. And the Joker also gets the same powers in the show Batman the Brave and the Bold, though the 5th dimensional imp in this story was actually Batmite, Batman's biggest fan, and he was actually trying to give the powers to Batman at the time, but accidentally hit the Joker with them instead. And this turns the Joker into God, able to do literally anything that he can imagine, which for him means causing havoc and chaos around the world and killing Batman over and over and over again. But sadly, the Joker grows bored of being so powerful, as there is just no challenge left to life, and Batman takes advantage of this, so when the Joker enters his mind to give him a new type of torture, he manages to convince the Joker that in a world where the Joker is all-powerful, everything else becomes boring, drab and plain. And so the Joker gives the power up, basically because he has more fun when he doesn't have any superpowers. And there's actually a good moral here about being beware what you wish for, and that true happiness doesn't come from what the world tells you you're supposed to want, but instead through working out what you personally want and then getting that. And sometimes it's a simple life that actually makes you the happiest. But that's enough philosophy, except for the question, what do you think of this list? Do you agree with my choices? Or is there a more powerful version of the Joker that you think should have been included? Be sure to let us know in the comments, and I'd just like to quickly remind everyone that we have some merchandise available on our store, and to say thanks to all of you who have donated to the Needle Mouse Productions page on Patreon. And as always, thanks for watching, and feel free to subscribe, share, like, and comment.